Association, the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, and the General Arab Women Federation, again this year, joins women and men all over the world in observing the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. As organizations that have a long history of working on issues of peace with justice, we have witnessed the Israeli-Palestinian conflict since 1948 and journeyed in solidarity with the people in this region. We stand in search of lasting and durable peace with justice for all people of the world, and especially in this region, on this special day, the International Day of Solidarity with the Palestinian people. We share the statement with deep pain, anger, and disbelief at the violence we have just witnessed this very same month in Gaza and the impacts on civilians, especially women and children, in Palestine and the whole region. We know that only by addressing the fundamental cause of this conflict, that is, the occupation by Israel, can genuine peace be achieved. The day the Israeli occupation of Palestine ends will be the dawn of real peace. It is a contradiction to expect people to live in peace and with freedom curtailed by the walls of occupation, with no real rights of citizenship and no real status under international law. There can be no lasting peace until Israel is held accountable for its continued breaches of UN resolutions and international rulings, and until the international community demands that both sides are equally accountable for upholding the law. Like others, we welcome the ceasefire just agreed, but we know the limitation of a ceasefire. It is but a temporary measure. We ask for real accountability of all parties involved in this crisis. The governing authorities on both sides, especially the Israeli government and the Palestinian Authority and other institutions, owe it to their citizens, their children, and their own future to break this impasse. There are numerous UN resolutions on this issue, but their implementation is lacking. It is urgent to have peace with justice, based on granting the Palestinian people their absolute right of return, the right to statehood, and the full rights and obligations under international law which statehood confers. Since the adoption in 1977 of November 29 as the annual observance of this Day of Solidarity, we have stood solid and expressed our quest for peace, justice, and protection of human rights and dignity. We affirm the principles and commitments on the role of women in conflict prevention, peacekeeping, conflict resolution, and peace building as enshrined in the UN Security Council Resolution 1325. On this special day, we make this call on the United Nations through the Security Council and the General Assembly and its other mechanisms, the United States of America and the Arab League, to demonstrate the courage to take measures to end occupations as a means for creating real peace with justice and building a secure region in which women, men, and their families can enjoy their freedoms and human rights. Second, the government of Israel, the Palestinian Authority, and the international community to take meaningful and profound steps towards ending occupation and to implement the agreed-upon United Nations resolutions, most importantly, 181, 194, 242, and 338, as the basis for building peace with justice in the region. Third, the international community to remain in solidarity with the people of Palestine and provide the necessary humanitarian support to the victims of violence and ensure continued efforts to secure lasting peace. And finally, the women and men of the world to demand implementation of international human rights laws and UN resolutions, actions towards just peace and accountability for the commitments already made on Palestine as a practical measure of solidarity. Thank you.
Thank Ms. Nagham Nassar for a statement. It is now my pleasure to invite His Excellency Mr. Ibrahim Qureshi, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary, Permanent Observer of Palestine, to take the floor.
السيدة المزورة السامي